Time for a quick commercial break.
Mitchell's Fruit and Snowy River Meats, the freshness you deserve.
Fantastic specials from Mitchell's Fruit for less.
Yes, we are going to be delving deep into a VHS from 1999. Somehow David M. Green has got his hands on this. He's not from the Illawarra, but it was recorded in Gerringong, and he's going to be reviewing it, because that's what he does. He reviews VHSs, not the TV shows or movies that are on them, the commercials. So if you've got any VHS stories, thank you, Jerry. I've just got yours as well. Thankfully, for those who like theatre, my performance filmed 30 years ago on a stage for a fringe theatre company is on VHS. Jerry, I feel you. There's me in full regalia as the Artful Dodger in a Miranda Musical Society production of Oliver that is still on a VHS somewhere as well. And a good thing that it is there and not anywhere else.
This is Lindsay McDougall on ABC Illawarra.
That's right, hey, it is just about 20 to 4 on ABC Illawarra. But it's time to take a little bit of a trip back in time. Now, we're talking about having old videos lying around the house, a VHS cabinet full of shows you've taped off the TV, that faded label that you can almost read, all full of TV from the golden age with all of the TV commercials left in. Well, my next guest may be interested in looking at them and reviewing them. David M. Green, who's a TV writer, radio presenter and video reviewer. He doesn't care about the movie bit of the videos. It's the commercials. Hello there, David.
Hey, Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm very, very well, and I'm very excited to get into this. We're getting a few people texting in about the videos that they've got. But can I ask how this all started?
Well, it's my dad had a bunch of videotapes that were in the cupboard that I found one day, like really, really old stuff. I mean, like we used to use them all the time growing up to record stuff off TV, but my dad had some from like the 80s, and it was like the Grand Prix from 1985 and, you know, some old like Olympic stuff. And one day I just thought, I wonder what's on these tapes, because, like, you know, I'd seen them in the back of the cupboard for years. And, they had all the old ads on them. And this was kind of like in the early days of YouTube. So, like, not a lot of those ads were up there. Put them together with some jokes and then upload it. And I've been doing it ever since.
Right. So this is something that has been going on for a very long time. And you would have perhaps been putting these up. Yeah, because these days you can kind of find a lot of those old ads and relive that past. But you were like digging these out of VHS way back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, there's people now, a lot of people just, you know, will put up entire blocks of ads from some tape that they've got. But I kind of curated a bit and I kind of, you know, just put the interesting ones up there. But yeah, there's a lot up there that I go, okay, well, this is already up there, but I'm putting it up again anyway. But then sometimes I find something and I go, okay, well, this isn't online. This could be the only copy. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting to think that sometimes they don't exist anywhere else. All right, we're going to go back to 1999 in Gerringong's, where the video's from. Let me get this one out of the way, because this place is still going and still fun, I believe, from all reports.
It's a whole world fun, Funland, Ulladulla Indoor Park. It's a whole world fun, Funland, Ulladulla Indoor Park.
It's a classic, David. This is a classic of the genre.
That's great. I'd love to go there, I reckon. Probably more interesting back in the 90s. I reckon the older arcade games would have been more fun than the dance ones that they got now.
It almost sounds like John Farnham singing this. Do you delve into any of the, like, do you find out where the ads are from at all and all that kind of thing? Because this is my childhood. That ad and that place is like right when I was growing up.
All right. Well, I don't know who did that one. I do a little research, but I wasn't able to find the info on that. But it's a really banging tune. Yeah. And this tape from 99 has a lot of jingles on it. Yeah. I think there were more jingles than there are now, because ads used to be 30 seconds generally on TV, and now they're a lot shorter because they play them at the start of YouTube videos, and they might only be 5 or 6 seconds. So it doesn't really lend itself to doing a jingle. So you don't hear as many as you used to.
But also, sometimes the jingle is shared by a couple of different companies.
Mitchell's Fruit and Snowy River Meats, the freshness you deserve.
Fantastic specials from Mitchell's Fruit.
Another classic of the era too, of a sort of a regional style of jingle. In fact, I think was it Courtney was saying that yes, thank you for reminding me about Mitchell's Fruit and Snowy River Meats. Truly the freshness we all deserved.
Yeah, that one apparently unlocked a lot of people's memories. I I didn't grow up in the area, but surprisingly, a large number of the people who follow VHS Revue did grow up around those parts and haven't heard that in 25 years. And suddenly they're like, I think it brought one guy to tears. So he said in the YouTube comments, I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe he had some sort of traumatic experience there, but it's powerful stuff. Absolutely.
David M. Green is with us, who did not grow up in the area. How did you get your hands on a VHS from Gerringong? Do you have like viewers submitting their videos?
This one came from so I grew up in Adelaide. I went to school with a guy called Lachlan Dwyer, who was a boarder from Broken Hill, and his grandma lived in Gerringong, and she would often tape things and send it to him. So it's it's a lot of provenance on this tape. It's gone halfway across the country, and now I live in Melbourne, so it's it's gone all around the place. But yeah, sometimes some of my friends send in tapes. Sometimes I just find them in the street on Hard Rubbish Day. So I'm happy to accept submissions if anyone's got anything from some places that I haven't seen any TV there before. I got a lot from Adelaide and Melbourne.
Right.
But yeah, everywhere else, I'd love to see what else is out there.
Barb's saying she's got find the box with the music stuff. The Revenge of Bruno, the Bruce Willis concert. Boy, can he sing, says Barb. So there you go. There's an option.
Well, that'd be interesting. I probably see the thing is it's got to be commercial TV because really the stuff that I'm interested in is in the ad breaks. Anything that's got copyrighted music on it, I wouldn't be able to upload that, or I'd only be able to upload a tiny little bit of it.
And the ads, they really do take us back to a certain time.
Their love affair had hit a crossroad. She needed something to rekindle the passion.
My darling, I can't believe it's not butter.
Well, what do you think? Not bad.
The taste you love is now even better.
Now, in my mind, David, that was Fabio in that ad, but I think you may have broken that memory for me.
Well, look at it closely. It's a man who looks like Fabio, but he's in hospital and his face is all bandaged up because it looks like he's had facial surgery. I don't think it's actually him. There's a picture next to the bed of Fabio. But if you remember that incident with Fabio riding a roller coaster in the United States, and a flock of geese flew past just as they were heading down the Big Dipper bit, and a goose hit him in the face and he broke his nose. This happened only a couple of weeks before that ad went to air. So I think it's quite impressive that the ad company put that together in such a short time to make it topical. or either that or it was just an amazing coincidence.
Do you reckon they had the ad ready to go and then that happened and they just called in and said, quick, we've got to get some bandages on that guy's face? Or maybe it was a different character altogether and they went, we can finally use Fabio. Wow.
I don't know. I'd love to know more. If anyone works for the ad agency that made that, would like to shed light on whether it was a quick turnaround or whether it was just dumb luck. I don't know. David M. Green is with us. He has reviewed a video, a VHS. It was originally Alice in Wonderland, mostly the commercials in between, from the 10th of April, 1999. A very important, a very big time for Australia.
The winner is Sydney.
Winning the 2000 Olympic and Paralympic Games has given Sydney a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
With over 3.5 billion people watching around the world, the Games are the greatest...
What were you doing back on the 10th of April, 1999, David M. Green? Were you watching these kind of TV shows?
I think I did actually watch that Alice in Wonderland broadcast. It's a good movie. It's star-studded. It's got Whoopi Goldberg, Gene Wilder, Ben Kingsley. Yeah,
that's right. It's not the Johnny Depp version, which is important.
No, or the cartoon version. There's lots of different versions. But yeah, I mean, I probably was watching the Olympics. That promo for the Olympics, if you listen to the whole thing, it's got a very kind of sense of, we put a lot of time and money into this, so don't screw it up by being rude to all the tourists kind of feeling to it.
New South Wales.
I like that too.
Because tourism is everybody's business.
It's everybody's. It's your fault.
Don't screw this up.
But more importantly, this was also about to hit the screens in 1999.
The television event all Australia's waiting for is only on Win Television.
Beginning 7 p.m. Sunday, April 18, and continuing weeknights for 2 weeks only, we're giving every Australian the possibility of winning $1 million each night.
Who wants to be a millionaire? It begins.
The genesis, the before we had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on Australian television. You've captured it there.
Yes, two weeks only has turned out to be 24 years and counting. So, yeah.
I love this part at the end of that.
Call this number, 1902 555 700, and anyone, anywhere could be flown to our studios.
The more times you call, the more your opportunities to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Now, that's interesting that they ask you to call as many times as you can.
Yes, and if you read the fine print, it says there it does cost $1 every time or $1 a minute. So I think, they had to get that $1 million prize money pool somehow. So I guess that's how they got it.
Do you remember those times when you had to call numbers that would cost, those 1-900 numbers that would cost $1 or $2.95 or whatever, depending on, when you've called them, and sometimes parents would be leveled with a really big phone bill?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a serial caller into Agro's Cartoon Connection, and I won tons of movie tickets from doing that. You had to call in and say your name and address and answer some very, very easy question. And, a couple of weeks later, I get movie tickets. And one time with, I think I won like one of the big prizes with when the Flintstones movie came out, with John Goodman.
Yep.
I won like a prize pack that had like a T-shirt and a hat and a VHS tape and like tickets to the premiere. And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes, David M. Green is with us, VHS TV commercial reviewer, among other things. You also write for TV, for game shows all over the place. Micallef's Mad as Hell, among others. So you were doing this when you were writing for Mad as Hell?
Yeah, I've been doing it, sort of over the years when Mad as Hell's on.
Right.
I'm generally was writing on that. When it was off, working on VHS Revue. Right now, no Mad as Hell, so doing a lot of VHS.
A lot of VHS. Did you does it ever leak into the writing? Because there's some great fake advertisements on Mad as Hell, although mostly making fun of ABC TV shows.
I mean, just generally, I like making fun of ads because, they're the surface scratches on the soundtrack to our lives. They're very irritating. Sometimes they're very catchy, but they all have an agenda, so you can make fun of them. And I think I did write some fake ads for Mad as Hell. Like, I got one on that was like a fake Bunnings ad, which I was quite happy with.
I think I do.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Well, there might have been the occasional reference, but yeah,
I've got something else. Something else that I think you may have had something to do with, which also will be very recognisable to people on the South Coast.
To the New South Wales South Coast now, and a sad day for environmentalists and fans of Sir Mix-a-Lot, as Shoalhaven's iconic bum tree was cut down to make way for a new road. Amidst cries of shame, the naked buttock-shaped eucalypt was removed by tree surgeons who presumably had majored in proctology. Scientists estimate the bum tree is more than 400 years old after a close inspection of its rings.
Now, honestly, David M. Green, was that you?
That was me. Yes, in fact, that was the first really big laugh that I got on the show. That's from 2014.
You got a laugh from Shaun Micallef there as well. He almost broke.
Yeah, it was so cool because that was my first season on. I hadn't had anything substantial on the show until that point, and I think it was that alone, that thing that got me invited back the next season.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's so good.
It's sad for the environment, but good for me personally.
Which is important. We've got to make these decisions. Hey, look, we've got some text here. Rob, that Canadian guy, says, my wife has kept all the Disney VHS tapes from when our oldest was little. We have about 75, lots of Bugs Bunny cartoons, which are the original uncensored cartoons. I don't think they'll ever be released like this again. That's probably worth hanging on to. And this is a great one for you, David. Hannah says, was it a computer store that was on a Windang Road, a Windang? I know the tune. I grew up in Penrith, but we could pick up Illawarra stations. I didn't even know where Windang was. Maybe that's like another challenge for you, David. Try and find a VHS with that commercial. Is it Windang Computer World, Windang Road, a Windang on it?
It's great. I mean, you learn so much about, local history when you watch an old videotape.
Yes, true. What's
phone
next?
codes.
Yeah, that's true. Prefixes, all those sort of things. Where are you headed next?
So I just released this episode today, and the next one is a Sydney one. It's from 1986, a show called News World. Don't know if you ever remember that. I mean, it's way before my time. It was a news show, late night news show in the 80s and early 90s, hosted by Clive Robertson.
Oh, right.
And he had a really, really unusual style. He would kind of go off on tangents and make these funny little comments. It's quite bizarre to watch now because there's really nothing modern like it. So yeah, there's a bunch of clips of that and some old ads from the 80s as well.
If you want to find all of this, David M. Green or David the Green on YouTube, can I just look up VHS Revue? REVUE, like a cabaret show.
That's the one, yeah. If you type VHS Revue into YouTube or Google, it's probably going to be my show that comes up. I think there might be a brand of videotape called Revue, TDK Revue. So, I mean, you can buy some of those if you're still using a VCR as while you're at it, I guess.
Yeah, get it all. David M. Green, very good to have you on the radio. Thank you for bringing us the history of the Illawarra in TV commercial form.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for having me.
Super Saturday classifieds are in the Mercury. All for your money, we've cut our price.
All right, ABC Illawarra, it's coming up to 4 o'clock.